This is game 1. And we'll switch to players, player cam and all that fun stuff when we start to see something that could have materialized. But so far it's just Ghost with some sort of possession. Nothing really for them, a challenge. Atomic actually cut that off. And also, before we continue, I am focusing on G2, so I'm not going to pause things to like look at how Ghost could have approached the situation better. I'm solely going to be focusing on Chicago, Rizzo, JNAPS, and how they are reacting and being, and how they're playing on the pitch, basically. Right back into it. Peer out a little bit. Rizzo back to Chicago. It's a good touch by Atomic. We'll peer out like this. Right now, G2. Ooh. Good turn for Chicago. Slowed down the transition for Ghosts. Still not a ton here. Long pass, cut off again by Atomic. They're closing the gap well. Rotation's not bad so far, but you can tell that G2 want to be aggressive. Like every time they move up the pitch, they are all moving downfield, and it's always some form of this. You got either a guy downfield on the opposite side. In this case, it's Rizzo, or you have two players kind of following closely. Second man on G2 follows pretty closely most of the time. This is pretty typical of G2 when they're transitioning down the pitch. And you see even right there, like they'll always play this super tight rotation. Rizzo's up on the third, and based on where everybody is, you got Atomic that's got to play this ball against Chicago, and he's pretty down right here. Chicago has advantage, so Rizzo and JNAPS both know that, and they're both creeping up on the play. This is actually looking pretty good for G2 right now, so let's see how this progresses. Oh, okay. All right, let's back up. So this starts with Chicago, but Chicago gets the touch that he needs. And if we look at Atomic really quick, or is it Illusion? Let's go back. So Atomic has 10 boost here. Chicago's got him beat. There's no chance. We'll go to the guy who side flipped, JNAPS. We'll back it up. So Chicago gets a solid touch. JNAPS side flips out, and at first I thought, oh wait, did he get called off by Rizzo? But I think if you look at Rizzo's cam on this, he's sitting pretty far up on the play. Like you see Chicago, he's like, oh, if Chicago bangs it farther over, he's covering the other option. Ghost don't have a good chance to clear this down the field. So if, let me get my EpiPen, my Epic pen, not my EpiPen, lol. Arrows. So like Chicago on his initial touch, if he goes like farther over, it might be better for Rizzo to cover. Let me delete that. Basically, where's my square? This Epic Pen thing is fun to use. So Rizzo is covering anything that's going to be basically on this half of the backboard or anything over here. He's going to be able to challenge Illusion on anything that he goes for. Memory on the backside on the rotations coming in. And JNAPS covering kind of this half. And this is where the ball goes. JNAPS side flips, and Rizzo kind of ends up stuttering for a second because I don't think he expected it. So anyways, continuing. I keep forgetting I have to hit the little button. So he kind of had to stop and take a read for a second. It results in a poor touch on the ball and an easy clear. Or at least an easy save. Not a clear yet. I'm gonna trip myself up. None. I don't have to go to fly cam. If I just hit none on player cam, it'll go. Anyways. Continuing this. Kobe, yes indeed, Hugo. Kobe indeed. Wait, I'm an idiot. Saying G2's play gave him diabetes. What? What, Omer? Anyways, back on this. So it's a good touch by Chicago. If JNAPS doesn't side flip there, that is a goal. Because I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Atomic had nothing. Let's go to Illusion, who's in net. Okay, so Illusion picked up some pads, so he probably could have had a chance at a save. But if JNaps doesn't flip there, JNaps is looking at, you know, he's pulling out the pen again. It's hard to switch from my controller to this. Or draw it like right in this corner of the net. And with how Illusion was facing, it's going to be difficult because he was trying to get turned around. So if JNaps doesn't side flip, it's a goal for G2. So it's a pretty big missed opportunity on that side flip. Unfortunate. G2 still have possession, so we'll keep going. Rizzo gets that clear out. Let's go back here. JNaps back over to Chicago. It's a good pass. Close. Okay, some space. I love Illusion. He just closed the gap so fast on that play. Bumps Rizzo off of it. That was a good play by Ghost to stop the transition from G2. Great touch from JNaps. Oh, okay. Let's back up. So JNaps stops Illusion on this play. He gets a solid touch. And Rizzo's already downfield. He already claimed that mid boost. So he gets that first touch. Let's look at Rizzo on this play. Player view. Alright. So up on the side wall. So Rizzo decides to take this down. And we're actually going to go fly cam again. None. I'm not used to doing this live, so this is going to take some finagling for me. This is very favorable for G2. You have both Illusion and Memory racing back to net. It's essentially a 3-on-1. It could be a 3-on-2. Either way, you have man advantage, depending on how fast you play this. So, what's Atomic's situation like? So, Atomic's got 99 boosts. He's turned back this way. And Rizzo sees he has space. So, I like the option from Rizzo here, because he can take this a few different ways, right? He can... I keep wanting to go back to fly cam. Let's zoom a little closer here. So if Rizzo approaches this ball up higher, and he's got a couple of options. He could... Where's my fun arrow? You know, bang it up high on the wall, force Atomic to have to make a play. It's probably not the best move, though, because Rizzo doesn't know how much boost Atomic has. And Atomic could easily find the clear, and he could play it easily from that angle. So instead he lets the ball bounce, and he wants to play it onto the ground. It doesn't work out for him. He actually has JNaps coming up on the wing too, but didn't decide to utilize him. So if we let the play keep going, and if I stop making little notes... Stop it, pen! Alright. So now Rizzo's on the ground, and as he comes out, he actually takes position on the left side of the ball here, despite having JNaps right on the wing. And it's a 2-on-1 right now with Rizzo and JNaps against Atomic. Rizzo has the time and he has the space to find this pass over to JNaps. Atomic's turned around. He's not going to be able to cut that pass off. Rizzo tries to pop it up over Atomic, and Atomic makes that save. Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, back this up. There's a lot going on here. So, let's play this a little slower. Let's look at Rizzo once more. Player view. Alright, let's slow it down 50%. We'll back up a little bit. JNaps. Back over to Rizzo. Rizzo lets it bounce once he sees... I mean, he has very clear vision on what's happening. He knows Atomic's the only guy. So he's like, oh, I'll play this close. Possession game. It's a good idea from Rizzo. But then he takes that left angle right there. And he's not going to beat Atomic to that play. No good. JNaps coming up with Rizzo. He's got this option right here. Now, here is where maybe you were thinking, oh, pass or nothing. So JNaps leaving the option open for Rizzo for a pass. Rizzo doesn't take it. So JNaps' immediate instinct is to go check the boost, steal boost, leave. But if JNaps stops, as soon as he realizes that Atomic is going to make the challenge on this play, just based on where the angle is and where Atomic is, if JNaps stops right here, like if he stops back right at this pad, he's got a chance at the net, or he at least will make a challenge against Memory here. Instead, he ends up leaving the play. And obviously, challenges aren't guaranteed, but it's better for JNaps, who's playing second man, if he plays a little more patiently right here. He has a play on this ball. Instead, now Chicago, who has been up in midfield. If we actually look at Chicago, a little back. Oh my gosh. I am struggling. Where's the player cam? There we go. So, this is okay. Like, Chicago's positioning wasn't bad from where JNAPS initially was. G2 liked to play aggressive. But now Chicago's forced to have to make this challenge. And Memory just has him beat distance-wise. Chicago can't make that play. And he kind of took a wider route on it as well. And just clean beat to the ball. And now they're forced to race back. This happened to G2 a lot last season. The ball getting behind all three of them. And it could have been prevented. Like, G2 had options on that play. It's obviously pretty quick. Rizzo had faith in his ability to take it up. It didn't work that time. Atomic made a good save. JNAPS turned off on the play. It's all bang bang, but there were other options that they definitely could have taken. So now JNAPS is in a tough spot. He's got to race back against Memory and try to make this save. So let's go to JNAPS. And let's go back to full speed. Oh, couldn't see it. Vic97, thank you for the follow. Alright, so JNAPS. It's a good touch. Out. Now you're still playing defense. Oh no! No, Rizzo! Uh-oh. Let's back up. Let's back up. Alright. Memory clears it out. So Rizzo sees this touch from Atomic, and he just immediately turns on it. He sees JNAPS on his left side as he turns back around. Ugh. I hate jumping too far forward. No! I have to go back this far back. So he knows JNAPS is right there. Maybe thinks that ball, as Atomic's going up for this, he might think he has the angle there, but then Atomic gets another touch on it. Now, JNAPS obviously doesn't have it either, but JNAPS in the corner had grabbed the boost. It's a communication issue, either way. Only one of you go for this ball. Like, it's fine if either of you go to at least make the challenge, force Atomic to play it away, but this can't happen. Because now Chicago is in a real tough spot, and he was already playing up, expecting either JNAPS or Rizzo to find that touch. G2 want to go. We do not. They don't want to play defense. But Chicago won't have a Lucian beat to the ball because he's got to make up lost time from that double commit. And now the net's wide open. So let's look again and see who really had the better angle between JNAPS and Rizzo. Really, I think it's fine if either of them go for the ball. Like, both of them have an angle to at least force Atomic to play it away and try to find a pass. And he gets back to it. It's a good touch from Atomic. Both of them commit, but they're both in a similar spot. If only one of them go, JNAPS can have Chicago covered on the potential miss, or Rizzo could have it covered. It's probably better if Rizzo goes, JNAPS covers the back end since he picked up the boost, and JNAPS wasn't getting to Atomic on that play. So, clean beat, and then Chicago would have been covered if he just, if we, that way. LOL. Didn't happen, and I believe they get scored on because the net's wide open. I don't have the thing up. Lucian beats Chicago. Just put it in the net, Memory, and you're good. And it's over-aggression by G2, and it all started from that offensive play where they're playing so far up, but they didn't take an option earlier. It forced JNAPS to come back clean on this side. And you're playing a little panicky. You might be expecting a quicker hit from Atomic. So as soon as they see that first touch, they're like, oh, we got to go get that. And a little bit of lack of discipline. Only for a moment there for G2. Oh, let's keep going. This is actually kind of fun. Let's swing around. We're actually going to watch... Let's just watch Rizzo. And then we'll assess from there. He plays this up. Oh, another double commit. Just trying to find the read up off the crossbar. was a good initial touch by Chicago, but again by Illusion to cover. Rizzo couldn't find the touch. What happened here earlier, actually? Was Rizzo expecting a different... I think Rizzo was expecting a different bounce here. Like, maybe, because his bounce is pretty far out, and he has to use a good bit to get there. He loses anyway. That's a good touch. Good pass. Oh, okay. So this is pretty good from G2. Sans the shot. So... you have both Illusion and Memory afterwards. Let's just back up a little bit more so I can see this from a wider angle. So JNAPS doesn't win that touch, but it's Rizzo who wins this touch against Memory trying to play up. So now you beat the offense and you have created man advantage for transition. Like, this is where G2 is most dangerous, right? Transition game means everything right now in RLCS, and you've got another chance. You missed the first one, let's try again. So Atomic, he's pretty far up. He tries to turn tail, and JNAPS is right on top of him. He gets the bump, and the bump slows down Atomic enough. Illusion, I don't think he ever gets to that. Oh, Atomic turned again, thinking he had it, but then he realized Rizzo was going to pass. So it was a great opportunity and a really good pass from, or a good launch from Chicago on the ball. Player view. Yeah, Atomic gets bumped there, and Chicago just misses the net. You had to be quick on it, and they were pretty quick. The shot from midfield wasn't bad. It was just, he got crossbarred. But still, missed opportunities. It's hurting this team against Ghost right now, and then they get scored on again. So, let's, Chicago. I'm already on player view. Back up, back up. How did this happen? JNAPS tries to clear it out. Atomic cut him off. Rizzo couldn't get there in time. Let's back up a little bit again. Look at Rizzo. So I keep seeing it, like, as I'm doing it, and I'm like, all right, we're actually going to switch again. Y'all going to have to deal with it. We're going to slow it down a little bit. Now going back. And having to race back to their net. JNAPS. I'm not sure. Trying to think on this transition. JNAPS knows Chicago's over there, but as he turned, he probably just didn't have the ball on his... couldn't get it on the right side, and he had to react quickly. So he popped it up. Couldn't win on the clear. JNAPS gets this bump here. Or not JNAPS, but... and Chicago is boned. I actually missed Rizzo's attempted touch here earlier. He's working with very little boost. Tried to at least make a touch on the ball. Just a little too late on it. What happens to Rizzo? Takes a quick look at Illusion. But just couldn't beat Atomic on the play. And then Chicago, he's just stuck in net after that. You lose that many challenges, eventually you're going to be stuck in a situation where you have to make a play on defense. And Chicago's turned around, and he can't make that save. It might be better if... so you have Atomic... or not Atomic. You have Illusion already coming in for this shot. Chicago maybe should stop right here, where it was paused, because he keeps going over, and Illusion already sees it. Like, as soon as Chicago leaves the post, he's beat. It's going to be hard to be able to flip back and make a save. You spend so much time on the animation trying to get your car back into position, and Chicago gets scored on because of it. However, if he sticks right here instead, because he knows that a shot's coming one way or another, and it's definitely an uncomfortable spot to be in, and the safest place to be, if you think you have time, is to get turned around in net so you can approach it at a better angle. But he's a little too far up. He wants to get set on the line, and he kind of screwed himself a little bit there. And Lone Wolf, thank you for the follow. He did try to flip back and make the touch, but couldn't do it. So just a series of lost challenges. Goes a little faster on offense, and they were working on limited boost as well. So halfway through, it's there have been a couple of chances for G2. Like they've had 2 or 3 solid scoring chances Maybe 2.5. I won't count the midfield shot from Chicago as like a full-on chance. It was definitely it had to be a quick transition, but other than that, they've had a couple of others, and it's tough. It's tight in that situation because you're working at full speed, and you have to make those snap decisions. And but it's some of the stuff that killed them when they play that aggressive play style. You have to be perfect, otherwise the ball ends up behind your whole team. So let's keep on going. Jorby Warby again. That might be a mute. Jorby Warby. What was that? What's up, Waterfall? All right. Couple of boomers. Wow, long pass. That actually connected too. G2 are ready for that trend. They're ready to move down the field at all times. So, oh my gosh, I hate that the ball just warps and I have to go so far back to actually get a look at it. What's that? Rocket Flyer. Thank you for the follow. That's a boomer from Chicago. Now, JNAP's coming up on this. Rizzo's flipping forward as well. They're thinking, okay, we'll play off Atomic's hit. He might try to pass to I gotta use this visual more. Like, he might try to hit it in front to Illusion so Illusion can move it downfield. He might try to play it up the wall. Instead, Atomic booms the shit out of it. Let me back up. I was trying to click. Every time I have the pen on, it just draws more things, so I have to like click 1,000 things to get back to the game. Jams and Rizzo are playing this pretty close, and Atomic makes the smart decision. He's got memory downfield. Chicago's pulling up too, and it's pretty tight rotation considering it was just boomed down the field. Like, Chicago's almost sitting at the midfield line. Rizzo's at the midfield line. JNAPS wants to play this. Like, nobody on G2, unless Atomic does try to play this over to Illusion, G2 are hoping you're hoping the play goes that way with that kind of positioning. Instead, Atomic booms it downfield. Chicago has to race back, and Memory's already downfield for this play. This is a transition move for Ghost, and it didn't have to be. If Chicago stays a little farther back, let me rewind this again and let's pause right here. So at the point of contact, let me pull up the pen. JNAPS and Rizzo essentially, they can't do anything on this boomer, but if Chicago is sitting, let's say just even at the third, right here, he's going to have to go straight up for it, but he at least has a chance to challenge Memory to the ball. Instead, he's got to get turned around, and Memory's already downfield, so and Atomic just booms it down to him. It's a good touch from Atomic. Let's delete. No! Oh my gosh, I need to learn the keyboard shortcuts for this. Memory up the wall. Chicago, no chance at it. And right back down to Atomic. They couldn't put the shot on net, so G2 get away with it. But this was a chance for Ghost. If this pass a little more on the nose to Atomic, you're forcing Rizzo to have to make a save while he's facing backwards. And how much was Rizzo have? He's got 56, so manageable. Easily manageable. But Atomic couldn't put it on target, so Rizzo gets a chance at it. And he does get a clear down in midfield, but now G2 are still playing defense. A lot of boomers on this sequence. Ghosts are just finding free passes. G2 are caught on the ground. Because every transition, G2 are like, all right, we're all going now. Because clearly we're going to easily push down the field and make the play. But it was two separate times now where they forced themselves to have to play defense, race back, use a little bit more boost. And they've been securing their own boost, so it hasn't been an issue for G2. And they're getting out of it. But like it's putting them on defense in situations where they might not have to be on defense. It was good from JNAPS in Chicago. Ooh, Illusion and Atomic double commit. JNAPS couldn't get to that ball. That was pretty high up. Let's take a look. Oh, initial clear from JNAPS. Misses that second touch. Has boosts. And, ooh, that's just a high ball. That was tough. So, JNAPS was up on the play. It's a solid touch from Ghosts. I wouldn't say JNaps was in a terrible position. His launch wasn't the best here. Let's take a look one more time. Let's look a little slower. He's trying to get that second touch right here to move it down the field, and he can't get it. And he's still creeping up. The ball bounces pretty high. He tries to air roll back to... That's tough. That's just tough. I won't say he was in a tough spot there. I mean, that was just a favorable bounce for Ghost. Good steal from Atomic. Chicago having to race back. Now, why is Chicago having to come back like that? Let's see. He's already upfield. Oh, wait, no. This was way before. Okay. Here's Chicago. JNaps misses the touch. He's actually coming back. Still. Yeah, and Atomic makes a good challenge in midfield. Rizzo couldn't buy... He bought enough time for Chicago. G2 get out of it again. All right. Let's keep going. G2 are making so many uncharacteristic double commits. Yeah, it feels like there was some kind of communication issue going on. I don't know. But on it comes from... In my opinion, a couple of these are coming from a uncomfortability on defense. Like, they just want to move down the field, and they're always pushing up, even in situations where it's really not afforded. That's a long pass from JNaps, was cut off again by Illusion. Ghost did such a solid job cutting off a lot of passing attempts from G2. Good from JNaps and Rizzo. And look at this tight rotation. So Illusion's on the ball. There's no guarantee. JNaps is already turning away. So let's look at this one more time. I want to see how this developed again. So Rizzo on point on the ball. Now JNaps is following him close. Chicago wants to follow closely too. Rizzo's on top. You have Illusion right here. Best that happens for Rizzo on this play. That's not the best that could have happened for Rizzo. Let's actually look at his cam. Let's go. We're looking. I was looking for the speed. All right. First touch from Rizzo here. Tries to get back to his touch. And he is trying, that touch, he's trying to slip it by Illusion on the play on the left side. One more look. So he's trying to force the ball to go at the angle that he's at with where Illusion is. He's trying to force this ball to go out this way. Closer to the net. Illusion turning out this way. Rizzo also, another option he could have had was maybe to try to take it head on and kind of slam it into Illusion, which could pop the ball up. Or just try to force it out to the side and roll it up the side wall. That'll give you a chance to get the pass out towards the middle or force more defenders up the wall. So he had a couple of different angles he could have tried to take at it, but he does go for this option right here. So let's keep going. God damn it. Music's hype today. All right. We will do this. So Illusion straight up dead stops that ball. And now JNaps is like, I gotta leave. This is not going to be good. Chicago makes a good challenge. So even though the rotation's tight from G2, the touch was favorable to keep the ball in play. But this is tough for JNaps. He's got 32 boosts. And now Ghost are on transition. Illusion misses the ball there. Atomic plays it out. I'm still in slow-mo. So this probably could have went differently for G2 on offense if we... let's get that wide angle shot again. Move down the field. So Rizzo makes this challenge. JNaps has a play on this. Like, this rotation where the ball is, this actually works out for G2. But JNaps ends up turning away from the ball. And he's got the boost to challenge Illusion on this play. So if JNaps decides to take the challenge against Illusion from the angle he's coming at, he goes here. you're gonna force this ball again, either up the side wall. It's gonna be a bounce or a roll up the side wall, or you're gonna like pop it up maybe around the corner. In which case, maybe Rizzo has a chance at the ball, but the most likely candidate is Chicago. Chicago's got a straight beat onto the ball before JNAP's turns. So this is sorry, I'm trying to find the button. Delete. So instead, JNAP's turns off. Chicago's forced to make the challenge. And he takes it straight on. It does bounce off the wall, but now G2 have no continuation. There's nothing they can do here. They have to retreat. Atomic has the next touch over to Illusion. And now G2 are in retreat yet again. Now let's go full speed. So, like, there are things G2 can do even in these tight rotational situations. But the second man routinely turns off the ball when they totally have a play at it. And that might come down to communication. Like, we don't know what's going on in G2's comms. So maybe Chicago's calling JNAPs off the ball and JNAPs leaves because of it. Or maybe JNAP says, I'm out, and Chicago's forced to make the challenge. So it's hard in that situation to really try to picture what exactly was going on. But JNAPs having low boost maybe is the one that called out. I'm not gonna guess too much on it though. Rizzo, good pass to Chicago. Chicago going for another boomer down the field while that pass from Rizzo. JNAPs, what are you doing, buddy? Let's look. Player view. I'm just looking at this. It's JNAPs. I think he's expecting that pass from Rizzo and turns off of it. Chicago picks it up, so that's fine. Illusion. Good steal from JNAP. Chicago keeps it going. Rizzo, no, right into Illusion. So this is still going. We'll let this go for a little bit until they lose possession. Clear again. Switch to Rizzo. Bumps Atomic off the ball. Nothing really developing for G2. Let's take it off this. Let's take another look at this. Whole progression. Time running out. Let's start right here. So JNAPs catches this. Forces a challenge. Rizzo. Good high touch. And he bumps Atomic out of the way. JNAPs and Chicago are way out of this. JNAPs has to be the next guy. And he picked up boost, but when? When did you pick up boost, Knapsack? Just a second ago. So he's still getting to the play. Keeps it going. Good from Atomic to take the ball away. Atomic's really good in this series. Another pass cut off. And their wide passes G2 are going for too. So it's good coverage by Ghosts on defense right now. Ghosts are forced to play G2 are forced to play boost management on offense. They've had to take wide rotations to grab boosts, and that's forced a slower challenge. They're not winning the boost game. That's why when you're trying to put pressure and you're an aggressive team, that's why stealing boosts are so critical. And midfield boosts are so critical to success, because if you have to take that wide rotation, that is seconds. Seconds. And, you know, half seconds matter for an aggressive offense to win challenges. So instead, the ball is constantly cleared back to their own end. Good touch from Rizzo. This is good. Good cut off from memory. Still good, though, from G2. Is that Bog Explosion? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate all the follows today, guys. Game 1's coming to a close. And G2 are struggling to move down the field. Ghost, they double commit, but again, G2 are forced to come back on some of these passes. They can't punish Ghost for the mistakes that they've made. And Ghost did a really good job cutting off the passes that G2 did try to pull off a lot of the time. But G2 had chances at the beginning of this game. Like, G2 score on that first chance at the start of the game, then this could have been a completely different series. Because G2, they're such a snowbally team. Like, they get that first goal, and then they start playing with confidence, and they start controlling the pitch a lot better. It didn't happen in game 1. And there were a lot of good things that we saw out of G2, but second man continually turning off the ball in situations where they didn't necessarily have to, forcing really a poorer challenge. So that was game 1. Let's move on. It's fun. I'm enjoying this. Hope you guys are enjoying this at home. I don't know if we want to see go smack G2 4-0. So let's skip to match 3 where G2 actually won. Let's take a look at what went right for G2. And potential opportunities that they could have had. Well, actually, I noticed I missed a few things. Alright, boys. A lot of people were really flaming Rizzo for this bad season, and I hope they watch this and see that it was a lot of small mistakes from everybody that led to games lost. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Rocket League, is that it's rare when everything is solely on one player. One player might have more glaring mistakes in a series, but, you know, Rocket League is a weak link game, but at this level, one mistake leads to more mistakes, which leads to compounding mistakes, and it can, to use the word again, snowball out of control. I'm glad you find it really interesting, Lone Wolves. I'm having fun doing this. All right. And honestly, it's funny. I'm here just trying to watch G2 and how they're playing, and all I'm seeing is why Atomic is so good. that's all I've seen after breaking this down for so long. Am I muted? Am I muted? Can you not hear me well? I can turn it up more. I hope the music isn't too loud. Let me fix it. You can hear? Okay, cool. Cool. Ah! Alright. We will turn that down just a little bit more. Okay. Let's keep going. And I'm not going to point out absolutely everything. Just the stuff I think is most notable. And for the sake of time. Let's get around here. I'm actually going to widen out the angle. Atomic is always in position. That dude is always ready to make the touch. Maybe not there. Okay, that was decent option coverage. Oh, that was not good. That was not good. Got away with it. We're fine. Carry from Rizzo. Another good pass. G2 can't hang on to possession, but Ghosts get one pass and they have to play it in midfield again. So pretty back and forth so far. And G2 do win this game, so we'll see how this happens. Ah! They keep switching, so it's hard to do fly cam like this. We're going to spread this out real far. Let me know if this is not good for you, chat. Chicago came flying for that challenge. Another pass loss. I'll catch that in a second. Oh, another cutoff from Ghost. Ghost, it's funny because Ghosts are pretty aggressive themselves when they're on offense, but they end up pulling out in most situations to cover the clear. But like even right there, like Memory, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Ghost, but I just think it's funny because every time G2 try like the small ball or passing plays in their own defensive end, Ghosts seem to always be there to cut them off. Might look at Ghost later this week. It's obviously going to be a little bit different now that Mist is on Ghost, but Mist there, but a demo gives JNAPS another chance. Oof. Illusion, nothing. So far, it's just a lot of trading. It's a lot of trading possession, some chips and bumps to give one advantage, but neither team has been able to really pressure the other yet. What's the boost situation like right now? Rizzo at 52, Chicago 92, JNAPS 45, so pretty decent boost situation right now. Good idea, but that's a wide pass. Ooh, right back to JNaps. That's good. That was good progression. Let's see. We'll take a look at this one. Hey, Sexy, hope you're doing well. Right back at you, Sexy Danny Boy. Danny Boy's great. If you don't know Danny Boy, he's a great guy. Go follow him. Let's see. Where did this start? Let's start with Chicago. Let's start with Chicago. Try to get the player view. Thank you. All right. We'll start this half speed. Rizzo, pass over to JNaps. Now, if JNaps can get a softer touch, and this might be difficult, so let's switch to JNaps, depending on... yeah, that's a tough touch. He could have made it. He could have made it work, but he might also not know exactly where Chicago is on this play. Oh, that was interesting. Thank you, replay. I don't know when he looks at Chicago here. Okay, so we see Chicago there. So his guess is, okay, Chicago's probably going to cut wide. Chicago's actually staying a little close to him. So, a softer cut, or a softer touch, not cut, by JNaps. And if we look at Chicago, Chicago would have a chance to like carry this ball and make a play. And he's the kind of guy you want to catch here. Because if you look at... none... Look at this situation. It actually might be tough anyway. But he still might try to carry, flick, make a defender miss. So maybe better. He forces it wide. Chicago can still carry. He opts to go for the pass, which is good. It's a good idea. You have Atomic and Memory still in net. Chicago's just a little too close for this. He does get a touch onto the ball, but he doesn't have the angle on Memory. Memory's got that angle covered. Let's look at Chicago one more time. Player view. So, pass from JNaps. And it's just too many passes. Memory had it covered. Atomic and Memory had time to recover, so it made options difficult for G2. You went with what was a decent option. Chicago carrying it himself would have also been difficult. It's hard to say. But on the transition... Here we go. Already pointed out. G2 are aggressive. They're going to have to race back and play acrobatic defense. Good dribble from Memory. Chicago did what he could. Oh my. Rizzo utilizing his space with JNaps. Maybe expecting JNaps to go for that. He still has control. Is that in? Oh! Is it in? Okay. Okay. So this went well. This went pretty well for G2. This was a good possession overall by G2. We go back. So I would say this progression starts with Rizzo's catch from his own end. So let's start with Rizzo. We'll go half speed. Oh, he knows he has him beat. Memory's car's turned. He already bid on the play. Rizzo going to get value out of this because he not only gets the challenge, but he also stole the boost. And that challenge is favorable for G2 to keep the play going. Oh, next in line is Chicago. We're just watching from this angle. Chicago couldn't get the best touch onto the ball there. Actually, we should be looking at Chicago because he did take that shot. But it was that carry from Rizzo that set all this up. And take advantage off the missed touch from Memory, or the attempted save, I'll just say, from Memory. And they score. So it's pretty good. And even if we go farther back, how they retain possession... The music's getting pretty heavy here. No, that's still not. We want to go farther back. No players. So, I believe G2 in this situation, they're working on... Chicago's got no boost. JNaps has full boost. Only one player without any boost. You still have a good boost situation as a team. Chicago wins that challenge. It's pretty good. Atomic has to play this up. Illusion's close. Atomic gets bumped. So JNaps gets value out of that challenge regardless. As it puts the ball pointedly on Rizzo's bumper, but even if we go further back, before Chicago, I'm just trying to get to where we want to be. Okay. So Chicago makes a great touch on defense there. If we're looking... Let's look up high here. Go further back. I'm trying to get to the point where they started on defense. Where did they start on defense? How long were you on defense? Always having to race back and make a touch. And like, again, look at that. How many times have we seen this formation from G2 on both sides? It's like they seem to favor this side in this game. It's just the way the flow of the game has been going. But like, it's always a race back to the net on the transition. Why even put yourself in a position like this? It works for G2. It really does. Like when this works, they are impossible to stop. That's why sometimes they seem nigh unbeatable, because when it's clicking and they're making every single optimal decision, that's why they seem so unbeatable at times. But that's also why they seem so beatable at other times. So this looks like it was just unfortunate. No, it's just the replay reviewer thing messing with me. So it's Atomic. And Rizzo makes a poor touch. So now they got to play defense. And JNAPS in Chicago, they have faith in Rizzo. They have faith that that ball is not going to pop up like that. They're expecting, before it gets right there, if we look, lands out. Let's wait right here. So let's zoom this out. Hi, Jorby. Is this from Season 8 League Play? Yes, this is Week 4, G2 versus Ghosts. This one is game number 3. We looked at game 1 earlier. What is... Oh, it's just the little clouds. The little boost clouds. No one knows they are there, but they exist. All right, so back to this. Chicago and JNAPS, they're expecting this touch to, keep going forward, or at least be a neutral touch to where it's going to go up, in which case, depending on if it rolls out or bounces straight down, JNAPS and Chicago both have a look at that ball. Illusion's also close by, but if Rizzo touches this up, it's going to be tough for Illusion to get there before anyone on G2 can. So this formation's good, or this rotation's good if Rizzo makes this touch. Rizzo, unfortunately, does not get the touch he wants on this ball, and JNAPS and Chicago are forced to retreat. But that goes to show you the amount of faith that G2 have in each other, especially on offense, is Rizzo's just expected to make that touch. And oops. And now it's a race. But again, you see it so much with G2. Chicago makes a good touch there. And now they got to play defense. So let's see how they handle this. Touch up high from Memory. It's a high pass to Illusion, which Chicago cuts off again. Chicago does well on defense here. Memory cuts off JNAPS. So now Rizzo's next in line. Memory smartly with the space. Gets by Rizzo, but Chicago makes the play again. And I believe this is where he's out of boost. But he makes Illusion miss. He doesn't make a miss. He at least gets by him. Then Atomic takes it away. And again, you see JNAPS. So really, Chicago is the whole reason G2 get out of this. He gets back real fast. Let's go the whole way back. Oh my gosh, I hate. Okay, here we go. So, recap. Chicago makes his first touch out, and it's hit over to him. If it was JNAPS is more than capable of making that touch. But it's another long pass. Chicago recognizes it. Rizzo's up on the wall. So Rizzo, he's not going to get a chance at that. Illusion would have a shot on net. So it's Chicago that has to be the man on the play there. Memory cuts off JNAPS to move it back downfield. And then Rizzo can't make that touch against Memory. Chicago forces it. And again gets the clear out. JNAPS also makes a critical bump onto Atomic right there to give Rizzo an easy catch. And then the rest is history. G2 score. Let's pull up the timeline to get past that. All right. Thank you, French Fry. The dog days of the G2 season. Indeed. JNAPS pushed past the near post way before Rizzo could get back. Which point are you talking? Oh wait, this was that was way after. We'll go back to that if we can. Okay. Let's take a look. Kickoff. Woo! Oh, what a miss. Great save from Rizzo, though. And G2 didn't panic there. The rotation didn't really allow them to panic. They could see everyone on the field. So Rizzo makes that first touch. JNAPS is having to rotate back, so it's Chicago's touch to make. Aleutian cutting in, doesn't have it. Rizzo makes another good challenge. Ooh, so close from JNAPS. That's another good challenge from Chicago. Let's look at Chicago there. How does he approach that? And yeah, so he's just head on with memory. If he neutralizes, it's a win. And then JNAPS just can't make that double touch. How does that look for him? I love seeing how it looked. Slow it down. That is not slowed down, game. Thank you. End up flipping forward. Too much meat of his car onto the ball there. I actually think if he doesn't dodge, that might be in, because he almost makes it. Hang on. Let's look. Let's look. So, right. Okay, so if he doesn't dodge... Now, Atomic's obviously right there. Let me get the pen. So, Atomic's here, and he could probably make an attempt at the save here, definitely. And as the ball's coming this way, if JNAPS doesn't dodge towards it and changes momentum, the ball hits his corner right here, and it most likely finds the edge. It still might hit like the very edge of the post right here. But instead, let me click. Boop, boop. He dodges, which changes how the angle of the ball goes. It still might not be that much of a difference. So I was just curious. Either way, it's a half chance. Atomic maybe saves it. Doesn't matter. Touch up. Let's go back to our flat cam. Whoa! Now G2 are playing a little bit back on the midfield line. They see Ghosts. This is just kind of dribbling the ball, maintaining possession. That got away from Ghost. Ghosts definitely make life difficult. Good cutoff from Rizzo. Chicago had so much time. Woo! To get back up to that ball. G2, this is good pressure. This is good rotation. It was a decent challenge. It was tough from that angle, but it's still G2's ball. They're like, this is what that when you're not so tight trying to move down the field, when your rotation looks more like this, you're able to cover more options. So let's look. Let's go back a little bit. They don't score anything, but just to highlight why they were able to stay on offense for a little bit longer than they would have otherwise, and why they don't get transitioned on. Like that right there. Ghosts are trying to find the pass. G2 recognize it, and they cut it off. Let's slow it down. So you got Rizzo on the far side of the field. They're still up, but they're not close together, so that's fine. As long as you have more option coverage for potential clears down the field, especially with memory down that part of the pitch. But JNAPS, first touch for him. And guess what? It doesn't matter where Ghosts go with this. So many options are covered for G2. it's looking really good for them. If Atomic wants to play it around the corner, he's got JNaps to contend with. That's such a fucking fat circle. We're just gonna make that a little thinner. But essentially, we're gonna draw a circle, pull a verge. JNaps basically has that, maybe a little bit more. Rizzo, he's looking towards the play, towards Atomic and Illusion. He has the play towards Illusion already cut off. This is the whole area of influence for Rizzo. And he's gonna have Illusion beat on that play. So Rizzo's ready to cut off anything that comes this way, and the flow of the play, obviously, is heading this way. This is where Atomic is going to play it, somewhere around this area. And Chicago, he's got that back end covered. So if this pass does end up being completed to Illusion, the best Illusion is going to get is a 50-50. And Chicago will be able to rotate back this way. And depending on the way the challenge goes, he'll have an easy line back to his net. Or he will easily be able to cover anything around this area and behind Rizzo. Basically, Rizzo's area of influence right here is the same as Chicago's if Rizzo has to make the 50. Now, Rizzo's in such a good position that he just beats Illusion to the ball and cuts off the pass. But it's just goes to show you this is a good rotation from G2 and why they're able to maintain possession. All right. Continuing. Rizzo cuts this off. Rizzo win. Full snowman. Yeah, we love our snowman. And Chicago just misses. That's a tough double tap. Let's look at him. Let's see how tough. Chicago's a god. Nothing's tough for him. So Chicago up. One time. Oh, he's 13 boost. Oh, he gets a little more boosts. He might make that double touch, but he's got 13, and he immediately tries to recorrect. I don't know. That's tough. That's a tight window, even with boosts. I don't know if he makes that touch the way he wants to. Moving on. Even still, JNaps has next man up. Forces the 50, but Illusion has the ball now. So Rizzo securing the midfield boost. It is important, especially on the transition. You have Chicago who's already coming back this way. So he almost got the flip reset. True. Rizzo actually makes this challenge, and it's great. That's a great play. This is a great mechanical individual effort from Rizzo, because that's a tough spot right here. To get up and get this ball, Illusion right in front of it, it's a hard touch from Illusion. It gives Rizzo a chance at this. So if we look at Illusion on this play, let's look. Forces it out. What's Illusion's boost situation? That's always important. He's got no boost. Okay. So Illusion's not going to try to keep this ball close to him. He's going to try to get a solid touch as he dodges into it. Atomic's ready. But because Illusion doesn't have any boost and he can't carry the ball, he can't move it out any faster. He can't get any power on the touch. And it allows Rizzo to make that challenge. And that challenge... All right, Chicago turns up. Did he expect Rizzo to make it? Like looking at one player at a time here. Let's see. Interesting pathing. So Chicago just takes too long to turn here. It works out for him on the challenge, but that next touch it's a little more difficult. Okay, so that's not terrible pathing. It could have been though. That's faith. That's faith in Rizzo, boys. Yeah. I mean, I guess that position's pretty favorable for Chicago. I'll take it back. It looked weird from that other angle. Now that I looked at it from his view, it makes a lot more sense. Let's keep going. Jams can't win the touch against Memory, but all Ghost can do, everything that they've tried, they've been cut off or they've been hit by a G2 car, and it's individual effort by Rizzo on that play in midfield, because if he gets that transition off, Chicago has full boost. He can maybe make a play, but you're going to make it uncomfortable for Chicago. So that individual effort from Rizzo keeps G2 on offense. Another challenge against Solution is for Atomic. Where's JNAPS? JNAPS already back. Not a solid shot. Easily turned away. So that whole thing that we just watched on offense and even back on defense, this wider rotation is working out. Now the flow of the game is kind of dictating how G2 are rotating here, but they're doing so really successfully. Like, this is good. This is a good game from G2. Let's speed up a little bit. Back to game speed. Tried to find Rizzo. Let's move back a little bit. Boomer. Rizzo and Chicago back on it. Oh! My goodness, Rizzo. What a touch. He pinch it? He did. Oof. That is nasty. G2 played much better this game. Why couldn't they just play the other games at a level even close to this? I mean, every game is a little bit different, right? In the last game, in game 1, we saw they wanted to play a tight rotation, and the tight rotation, in essence, wasn't a bad idea. It was good. It was just the decisions of the second man in those situations that really boned them and put their defense in a really tough spot. They have to play acrobatic defense that way. If they make the right decision in those situations, then you'll see G2 like this. But I mean, this just goes to show you, just with the way this game has been, a lot of high balls, a lot of challenges going up, and a lot of long passes. So that's what the flow of game 3 has been. Not every game is the same, and it dictates how you rotate, it dictates how you play, and G2 are just more consistent at what's happening here. What happened? What happened to Ghost? JNAP's up on this. Memory's gone. Atomic's coming back. Wait a minute. Why, Memory, why are you going for boost? What are you seeing? What are you seeing, Memory? I'm gonna go back a little bit. I know I said I wasn't gonna look at Ghost too much. Memory gets that first touch. He wants to leave. Maybe thinks Atomic or Illusion. I mean, they're both there. It's expected. But Atomic was still coming back. Illusion didn't want to bite. Where's Illusion? Just want to see why JNAP's got this double touch at all. Alright. So Memory, he's leaving the play. Atomic's coming back up. So Illusion might think Atomic has the next play. Because why does he come straight up for that? Why? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. The boost spawned for you. You got boost. Why are you pushing up here? Is he expecting like a pass to Rizzo? Either way, it's probably better for Illusion. This is the only time I'm looking at Ghost. But like, if Illusion right here, he rotates to back post, he's got a better chance to save that, but he's out of position here. Atomic can't get back into position, and Memory doesn't know any of this. Memory has no clue what's going on. It's like, yeah, my teammates will be there. He gets that touch, and he's like, all right. Oops. Why does he keep driving, actually? Does he want to go out for a pass? He probably wants to go out for a pass here. He probably wants to continue it, so he's expecting Atomic to make that play, but Atomic ends up going in the net off the double touch. He's too late. Can you show Rizzo point of view on the pinch? Yeah, I can do that. And JNAP scores, so that's pretty cool. Interesting. Interesting. So Ghost had a gimme at the end. Let's back up. This is where he gets that pinch. He just kind of... Let's... He gets the best touch possible off this. We're going to look real close at this. Ready? 50%. We'll slow it down to 25 when he gets here. How does this happen? Boom. Oh, that's too far back. Rizzo. Yeah, he pinches it like on the corner of the ramp there. It like bounces off the ramp as he touches it. What a save from Memory, though. Yeah, I think Memory wants to go out for a pass on this play. Atomic still rotating back. Illusion sees Atomic and Memory the whole time. He should have rotated back posts. And then he probably has a chance to save that. Instead, he has to do a full 360. And G2 win. So that's game 3. And it was much cleaner. No double commits in that game. Like we saw in game 1. all solid touches, and times where they had to give up possession were the times that it was the correct decision to do so. So that was good from G2. Now what went wrong at the end of this series? They lost 1-0 close. And Ghost are a great team. But the expectation in week 4, what's our expectation for G2 to win this game after all the games Ghost had? I'd have to watch the VOD to remember, to be honest with you. But I know we're talking about G2 potentially in the relegation tournament at this point. And we were harping on the same things over and over and over again. And like someone in chat said earlier, and I agree, it's a lot of small mistakes from, I'll say all 3 players, but in my opinion, 2 players in particular in situations can make some better decisions. And it's tough. It's snap, snap, bang, bang decision making you have to do. So I'm not raking G2 over the coals for it, but just kind of analyzing what went wrong, what went right. So we saw no double commit G2 in game 3. Will game 4 be the same? Gonna pull this off. Oh no, Chicago! Oh, it feels bad. Here, look. I don't know if he gets to that ball anyway. Elution's right on top of it. So let's take it off here. Let's zoom in a little bit. That's tough to tell from that angle. Look at this angle. No, he does not get to that. Elution has that read easily. All right, moving on. I was curious. And why is this going the whole way back? Why are we doing this? What happened, Daddy Rizzo? Tell me. Nani? So, Rizzo starts boosting forward. Immediately to turn. No, that first boost was not to turn. He does get this touch here, but they're in a tough spot now. They didn't respect the clear potential. And Chicago was up on the play. Rizzo, I think, maybe was expecting a softer touch from Elution. They've been expecting soft touches all series, and they haven't got them. That's fine. Okay. That's good. Great progression. Does he have that? No. I didn't even look at the shots. It's only 1 goal. G2 don't score. Why don't they score? Let's look back. Pass. Pass. Rizzo was just expecting the bounce up off the back wall. And Ghost just had too much time to react to it. JNAP's trying to keep it away. Rizzo bumped. It doesn't matter. Oof. Chicago's got the ball. No worries, boys. Okay, this is still pretty good from G2. Couple of tight situations, but nothing too deadly. Force the challenge. Ooh, he gets bumped and still makes the touch. Oh, Rizzo! That was brilliant. In that situation, like, it can be so easy to panic. Let's back it up. That was sick. It was actually sick. Let's slow her down right here. So he's got nothing to work with. He does get the boost. And Elution bumps, and usually that's good enough, right? No. Rizzo flips to kill all of his momentum right in front of the ball. Like, he flips at the perfect time. Catches the ball right on the undercarriage of his car. He gets the flip reset and flips back into the ball to deny the potential shot. Like, what a way to recover off of a bump. Let's just watch that once more in real time. That was pretty. Not that. This. Up, flip, and flip reset. That's awesome. That is so cool. So yeah, that's why we do replay review, boys. These players are nuts. Chicago ready for the next challenge. Memory's flip actually gave Atomic the ball. Rizzo cuts back in front. I don't think that's worth looking at. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, JNaps wins. Doesn't matter. Another long clear. These are good rotations from G2. Good touch. Rizzo's balling out right now. Oh my goodness. That's gotta... JNaps, what happened? I have to look at it from his angle. Let's look. Up high, Rizzo gets a solid touch. Chicago tried to force that 50. JNaps, tight angle. Let's look at it a little bit slower. We'll slow it down even more. Decent launch. And just too far to the right side of the ball. He gets a little more on it. He gets a little more meat on the ball. He obviously wants to be about there, but he probably wants... If he wants that shot on target, he needs to get it... Where's my EpiPen? Epic Pen, not EpiPen. I keep saying that. Like right... If his nose is like right here... So you're talking inches, man. Inches! But he touches it right there. It likely... I'll go out on a limb and say top corner for JNaps. And he hits that. But just a slight mistouch. That's what RLCS is, boys. Game of inches. All sports at the top level. Atomic misses that touch. Memory tries to carry. Actually, a good carry out to the side. Forces the challenge out to the corner. I'm not going to look at Memory. I'm like, hey, look at the cool thing Ghost did here. And I'm like, I'm looking at G2. Okay. Still good. Oh, we're still in slow-mo. Let's keep going. So this isn't bad from really either team for the most part. JNaps missed that potential opportunity. Unfortunately, Ghost made it so that they had no choice but to score half chances. And half chances are tough. You gotta give credit to Ghost defense. Chicago up. Just no solid touches at all. Or at least JNaps trying to find shots on this progression. Now, this is still really smart from G2, because while Chicago doesn't go for this ball, he gets value out of grabbing the midfield boosts. Because it spawns, Memory's still downfield, but Atomic and Illusion are still beyond the midfield line. And JNaps is on the ball now. Am I missing what I saw earlier? I feel like I missed what I saw earlier. Did he steal the boost? No, the boost never spawned. Never mind. I think that was a glitch. Not the best touch from JNaps, but bought a little bit of time. Now, JNaps getting bumped in net. Races back out. Decent pop. Good demo. This is good. It's really good from G2. And Atomic is just a nuisance, man. Oh, no. It's another one. These are obviously difficult. But man, am I used to watching G2 bang these in. Read off the ceiling. Chicago has it. He just doesn't turn his Fennec out in time. Like, his car is still straight in the air. How close is this? How close is this? Let's get the fly cam. No, player view. None. Let's slow it down. He's turning, and then he's too far away from the ball. Like, that close, man. He finds that touch. You already see Illusion and Memory on the double commit. They would have double committed. That shot goes through. They have a chance to save it. But the point is these are shots left unshot, if you will, from G2. We're still going. What is this? Watching this also makes me question why Ghost kept Memory. It could have been an out-of-game thing, but this roster was very solid, and Memory did a lot of working back. Memory did do a lot of work. Woo! Woo! Okay. Decent shot. Lucian just makes a play. Lucian just makes the play there. JNaps, he's in the right spot, so let's back up a little bit. So, Rizzo puts a decent shot on net. JNaps is ready for a lot here with the way his car is positioned. Let's go to his cam. He's got almost a full tank of boosts. This is ideal situation. So, let's get this out. Best case scenario, Rizzo scores. Where is my arrow? There it is. Best case scenario, Rizzo scores. JNaps, he's got a lot of option coverage, really across. Let's get my box. About this whole area. He's got a lot to cover the rebound on. Now Lucian makes a really good save here, and it kind of throws things a little out of whack for a second. So let's watch it in slow-mo. So the way JNaps is positioned right now, this is good. If that ball, just to visualize and not just talk about it, if that ball bounces down, JNaps is there. If it bounces kind of out to the side over here, he's there. And he does cover the angle eventually. Either way, this is good positioning from JNaps. Just wanted to highlight that, since all of game one, all we talked about was poorer positioning, if you will. So it does bounce straight off. And JNaps just can't get a solid shot. And it's tough. Is it tough? Let's see. He jumps. Maybe a little early on the play, too. It's coming out. I feel like if he jumps a little later at this. I touch it out. Like, maybe he's thinking that's a little higher as it's coming off the crossbar. Let's look at it full speed. Yeah, so that initial touch from Lucian, like, it kind of is going up against the crossbar, and then it bounces straight back down. So JNaps is probably thinking that moment, as soon as he sees it pop up, he's like, jump. Because that ball is going to pop a little straighter than it did. But that little mistake, not mistake, but like that little read issue right there probably prevented a goal. Because JNaps will get a more solid touch onto that ball. It'll be powerful. And Memory might not get to it. Either way, it wasn't. Memory probably would have got it. Either way. You still want shots with power on that end of the field. Memory still has to get across and make that play. And JNaps doesn't jump. He has that extra like quarter second to think about where exactly he's going to place it to see where Memory is. Obviously, it's tough. You're talking pure speculation at that point. But it's just another in a long line of G2 chances gone. With Memory on the backboard. Oh, yeah. Which players do you think should step up this season? On G2 or just in general? Okay. Oh, my goodness. Let's back up. So, Atomic shot up. JNaps is right behind him. Does JNaps even know Chicago's there? But first, that's a good touch for Lucian. JNaps was already coming up the other way. You're forcing him to go opposite direction. And that's really the best it's going to get for JNaps there. Rizzo can't clear it away. Yeah, I don't think JNaps ever knew Chicago was there. And Chicago catches this. Does he see what's going on? He might. Why am I doing this? Back. 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 A. Okay. Chicago turns initially. I don't even think Chicago should be here. He shouldn't even be here. He should be back farther. He's up, maybe expecting Rizzo to carry that, but either way, you have JNaps as your second man. Why are you rotating here? He should be closer to the back post, closer to the line. But now he has to turn around. JNaps is already coming back as well. Memory is right on top of Chicago. I just want to see if he... Because the ball... Alright, touch from Atomic. The catch. So he sees Memory that whole time. Is he looking for a quick flick? Ah, it bounced up. He wanted the catch and flick, and he missed the catch. It bounced up a little too high, and Memory made him pay. In that situation, I think it's dangerous in any... Like, Chicago probably sees daylight here. Like, he sees memory, and he's like, if I can flick this towards the middle, JNAPS can easily follow this up. So, like, if Chicago catches this properly, he flips it over. Well, JNAPS isn't even going that way anyway. I think Chicago was just in a poor spot. And then, I think 2 poor decisions caught him there. And they get scored on. So that was that tight rotation where G2 are just expecting to move down the field at all times. Right. Rizzo's on the ball. And he had that touch. Let's play it full speed. Let's back it up one more. So JNAPS at least stops it. Rizzo's going to bang that. It's not on the wall. And Chicago's just ready to go. Now he has to turn around and make up for it. He tried to catch it when he probably should have played it to the corner. Memory dunks him. Goal ghost. So, poor defensive positioning cost G2 that goal. And it is the only goal that is scored in Game 4. But let's take a look, see if G2 had any more chances. I did get a demo, but couldn't move it across. It's safe from Rizzo. Oh my. Okay. Chicago trying to catch. Aleutian bumping Rizzo. I love that progression from Ghost, even though they don't get it there. And Memory playing it safe. He's on the back end. Good touch as well. That was... Chicago read that whole play? Let's look. He was covering a lot that was going on. Let's see. Okay. He's just in the right spot for it. Memory going up for that pass. He was just covering Memory's option. He was in the right spot. Can't write much more home about that. Put it away again. Let's get off this cam. Good cutoff by JNAPS. But Ghosts do well covering the field. Oh no. That was not a good pass. Miss from Rizzo. That's a chance for G2 to move down the field if he doesn't miss that. Good touch from Chicago. Back. Ooh. Oh, no! Sorry for the yelling. Here we go. Let's look at Chicago on this play. So that's a great first touch. He recognizes what's going on. Go back again. Let's slow it down. Atomic first man up on this challenge. He knows exactly how Atomic has to approach that ball. There's only one way. And so Chicago has him beat. And if you try to hit it forward, and this is real simple Rocket League for you. He tries to hit the ball anyway, like this way, Atomic will easily have the save and force the 50 to be somewhere yonder. Instead, Chicago plays the ball straight out to the side, and Atomic takes that angle to try to go forward and beats him. So there's a lot of arrows there. Are gone. It's a great decision by Chicago. Played away from the attacker. Rizzo's following close behind. Good positioning. Now he's got JNAPS on the wing. And if we take a look, it's only Memory. So Chicago's got a couple of options if he wants to take it off this pass from Rizzo. And just so I'm sure, let's back up. 100%. Okay. So Chicago jumps on this because he sees JNAPS on his wing. But he's got a couple of options before he does that. Let me back this up. Okay, so right... God damn it. I wanted to get before he jumped. Either way, just pretend Chicago didn't jump here. He's at this little jump spot. I like the little warp. Memory's the only guy back. How much boost does Memory have? Memory's got plenty of boosts. So, not much of a factor. However, you could put Memory in an interesting spot because he's not turned the whole way around here. If Chicago catches this, so like Chicago could, here are his options. He could catch and then go for a dribble play, or maybe do a delay. on the catch to where he could either go for the net, try to make Memory miss, or catch and then pass it over to JNaps, making Memory think about what he's going to do. Either way, Chicago makes a quick decision instead because he sees JNaps and he knows it's a one-on-one situation, or it's a two-on-one situation. It's not a bad decision. It's not a bad decision to go for the pass here, but he's got a ton of options, so we're looking at all of them. So let's that's one option there. He could take it himself and go a bunch of different directions with it, but you want to take advantage of only one guy back, so you want to be quick. As we know, he takes the pass to JNaps, and let's look at JNaps' cam. So JNaps against Memory, it's actually, this pass is, Memory can't get to it. JNaps, this is a tough angle, hang on. Chicago just jumped a little early at it. And Memory was expecting that hit right into him. If JNaps is just a little more patient, I think he has this goal. Yeah. JNaps, come on, go back. Oh my gosh, we went the whole way back. So let's look. Chicago gets this touch, and JNaps jumps early. It's just an early jump. I think that it's these slight misreads from JNaps, and he can't make the touch. No goal for G2. And that whole play was beautifully crafted. And so that happens. Maybe next time Chicago's in that situation, he doesn't pass the ball because of that. Miscues. G2 weren't playing badly. It's just these small mistakes that killed them. So, we saw at the beginning of the game a lot of chances. We saw in game 1 a lot of chances for G2. And what is going on defense here? They get it out. Rizzo down the field again. Do they get one more chance out of this? JNaps can't get back to the ball. He was covering the far side. What is going on over here? Every time I hit the back button too many times, it's like, sorry, we're frozen. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's slow it down. Just want to see if this could have been done a little bit differently. So Lucian tries to play it away. Rizzo going for the bump onto Atomic. Chicago did not win that 50, and it's a double demo, but JNaps is on the other side of the pitch. So it really was just a lost 50 from Chicago. Otherwise, that also might be a goal. How does Chicago approach that challenge, actually? Let's take a look at that. Chicago! Alright. You see Rizzo. He kind of stutter stepped there. Let's look. So Rizzo's going up here. The way the ball's looking, Rizzo takes the angle at Atomic. Chicago's just trying to find the right angle to approach this. It just takes that extra half second, like that extra half second was enough for Illusion to get there in time. So it wasn't even a 50. Chicago just couldn't get there. And JNaps forced to jump across. Which sucks, that's another potential opportunity, and that double demo could have been huge. Does anything else happen at time expiring?